What's up, everyone? You are tuned in to the Late Night Channel Eeps. I'm your host, EEPMON, episode 48. So, yeah, it's a long weekend here in Canada because tomorrow, well, in 30 minutes, it's going to be July 1st, which is Canada Day. And yeah, it's going to be a long weekend in that respect. Um, as to if I'm going to be attending any fireworks, probably not. Used to be at Parliament, now they moved it to La Breton Flats area. And I used to, in my earlier days, I used to go out a lot to attend the fireworks display. But now that I'm older, I'd rather just avoid the crowds. OC Transpo is free though, so yeah, take advantage of it, folks, if you're in the Ottawa and Gatineau region. But what am I going to talk about today, other than long weekend stuff? Well, I thought I would do a show and tell, a behind the scenes of my mural, Chaos Bloom Tidal Wave, that's currently being displayed publicly at the Ottawa Art Gallery. So let me just jump right into it because I want to kind of show you my file. I want to show you the raw file in which you see before you here. This is Chaos Bloom Tidal Wave. Now, I use vector graphic software. In this case, this is Adobe Illustrator. And why I use vector? Well, for those who are not familiar with vector graphics, vector allows you the ability to create graphics and art, and it doesn't, it's like resolution independent. Like, it will not lose quality if you keep on zooming in, keep on zooming in, keep on zooming in, as you can see. You see that? There's no pixelation whatsoever, which is very ideal, especially when you want to create artwork that needs to be scaled up like 105 feet across, like really, really big. So this is the file here. And as you can see, they're actually made of very simple shapes, such as the moon. I can, in fact, move this around. Oops, move this around here. And they're all created into layers, as you can see on the right side. So I'm just going to undo it here, bring it back to the original position. Oops. All right, here we go. Oops, is it there? Yeah, there it is. So it's, ooh, hold on. I have to get used to this. This is why I need a dual screen, because then I could jump between. Anywho, let's resize this. Bear with me, folks. Oh, I kind of moved it here. It should be right here. Oops, my bad. Sorry. There we go. That's better. And can I move this down here? Oh, that's fine. So there's the moon layer. I'm on the right side. I don't think you can see my cursor, but on the moon, there's like different clouds. So here's the cloud here. And again, I can move these around too. Right? Oh, is it not? 1 second, folks. For some reason, it's not updating. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, now we're back. Start, folks. But yeah, so you can see that the moon had to be positioned exactly there because there's a ventilation or a vent at the upper right hand corner that needed to be exactly within the circumference of the moon. So we measured out to be exactly at this location. But again, you can see that I can move the clouds around. They're all individual shapes. See that? Isn't that neat? You can move it around just like so. And I work in layers. I do my best to label as many of my layers as I can, but you could dive into the cloud. You can see that the cloud is composed of like 4 other compound paths. Let's take a look at a sakura flower, which is this one here. That's being selected. Look at that. And if we drop it down, you see it's selected in the layers on the right side. If we drop it down, look at all the layers comprising this floral piece. Just goes on and on. Zoom in a bit. So like maybe this piece here. Yeah. So that piece right here, I'm toggling here, is this dark piece right here. So I can move that around here. This one here. So a lot of layers. There's so many layers. But then it's like digital Lego, folks. It's like you do one style and then you group them all up and then you could reuse it for later. Okay. Select the whole thing. I'll zoom out a bit. Oops. And then I could, move this guy around. What a big difference, eh? It's like, oof. One thing about public art though is that you have to be very mindful not to over complicate things, and ensure that there's enough breathing room for the art to be fully experienced at a large scale. So yeah, see, it's zoom in even further, even further, even further. Look at that. Once you, I mean, at this point, you can see, like, look at this though. Look at this. This is a lock there. There's. It's not entirely circular. I could have gone through it and actually maybe smoothed it out a bit, or maybe made it a perfect circle. But you know what? You don't notice that at all when you see it printed, because really it's like very, very small. You wouldn't be able to see that at all. Is that here? Look at that. Is that cool? My face is all like turquoise now. Look at that. So it's fun. It's fun. I got waves here. Where's my waves? There's a wave here. I'm selecting the wave. And if I move that around, see? Like so. Geez, it makes such a big difference, You get, look at this. This is cool too. It's like, it looks like they're overlapping together. But right now it's like this. But I could have done that. That's the thing. Like once you start, like, it's just like, there are almost infinite ways to create the art piece. It's a matter of finding the right combination. Oh, this is nice too. Like, imagine if I did this, but Furthermore, what's really cool is that you can actually change the hue and saturation of the selected items. It's right over here. You go to color guide. Oh, I don't think you can see it on the. That's unfortunate. You can't see it. Maybe if I move this here, no, I can't. No. Oh, there you go. You see color guides? No, color guides. There it is. You see color guides, and if I click on this wheel here, wow, we can't even see the. You can't even see the pop-up windows in this version. Oh well. Bear with me, folks. And you could change the. Oh yeah, it's already changed already. You can change the hue and saturation of the wave. Now I have a pink wave, orange wave, more yellow. Is that cool? Yeah. But I thought I'd show you this because what's nice about Vector is that when you give it to the printers, they will absolutely love you, simply because vector graphics, absolutely, printers love vector graphics because it's all like data of Bezier curves and paths. So it's able to really interpret that into a format that it can print out pretty much like as accurate as possible. So yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, that's a little. Thought I'd just show you that for fun. I wonder. I'm sure there are people that are might want to see. Maybe in the future, I could do some tutorials, some concepts and ideas, and sort of some tips and tricks and what I do with my programs that I use. Yeah, I could do something like that too. But yeah, and I'll show you one more time of the ground or the planters that we applied the artwork onto the planters as well. The bottom is an image of a prototype, sort of like done in Photoshop, and the top is exactly the planter size and dimensions. And I would add the art of the individual floral pieces like so. Yeah. So it's fun. I enjoy this because, like, it combines a lot of my interests. It combines, like, of course, my creative artistry. It combines my, um, thinking spatially, especially when you're translating something that's digital and then you're like, just have to, a mind's eye, visualize like what that will look like large. And what I often do too, of course, is like when you're doing something that big of a scale, I would take a photo of the space in its bare state, and then once I developed the artwork, I would overlay done in the graphical software to like, kind of like um, um, superimpose the concept graphic onto the actual photo. That is very important, I think, because that would communicate to the client a visual cue, or the cues visually, so that they have a better understanding too. Like you could say, what I always find myself, uh, when people say, "Oh, what do you do?" We do. I go, "I'm a digital artist and all that. I do this and that." But you know what? Like, it's like I'm just saying words. In my mind, I already know what I'm talking about. But to them, I'm just saying words. They don't know, so they can't even like visualize it, right? They're not even artists either. They just can't visualize it. So it's always important to do your due diligence and meet them in the middle. That once you have, like, you could do the art, but put that extra work to superimpose your art as a concept onto, whether it's a photograph or just show some sort of like ideation, so that you can take them along on your journey of how you're creating, and though they can so they can feel at ease and at peace, especially when you're doing something that large. Like, imagine, like, okay, you entrust the artist to do it, but if it's going to be an absolute surprise as what it's going to become, that could be quite. It probably would be very worrisome for the clientele, because don't forget, it's a public art. People is public; they're going to see it. So, as an artist, we need to also be able to communicate our thoughts and ideas, um, to bring them along on your journey. Sometimes I even forget about it. Sometimes I'm like, well, yeah, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that. Like, for example, I have another mural project, still pending, but I think it's pretty much down, pretty much a green light. And my clients asked me, well, can I have some color swatches of what you feel that the color or the idea of the interior of this mural is gonna be like, or what kind of. So that's kind of hard. I mean, providing some like color swatch. Um, but I think we have agreed on the fact that we want something that's city lights related. If you haven't seen my city lights work, definitely check it out. I'll put the link to my show notes to see some of my city lights stuff that I created. But like, yeah, to provide a swatch is it's kind of tough. So I've been thinking about how what would be the best way. Well, why don't I show her some of my existing city light works that leverages some of that color palette or color swatches? Because I don't want to be, as an artist, I think I have to be careful too. Like, I don't want to say that these are the swatches and then that's set in stone, because now the client has this expectation that it's going to follow that paradigm. But we artists, we say, but when we execute, maybe something amazing happens in process that deviate from the color swatches. So sometimes it's good to be a bit more reserved of like providing too much information. But I think what's important, and I'm also learning as I go, is that you want to provide the information to show them your process, your way of doing things, and be communicative at the same time. But if they request something, give it some thought about how you want to respond, because just because they request something may not necessarily work with your way of doing things. And if it's something that's not in align with what I mentioned, what you usually do, perhaps it's good to meet them in the middle and find a compromise. That, okay, well, I can't give you swatches, but I could give you some of my existing work of city lights that I think has a feeling. But the caveat is that you never know. Like, I don't. This could change because things happen, and but yeah. So these are things as we creators and creative entrepreneurs have to be able to balance between what they want and what you can provide. Is really it's a bit of a dance. But yeah, that's a little bit of tip from a creative entrepreneur. And but yeah, we'll see what happens. Like, I still need to reply back. I gotta say, hey, look, I don't think I can give you swatches, but here are some samples of my existing work. And there's no and also, like, disclaimer kind of thing. I'm not going to. It may not necessarily be that I'm going to follow this to a T, but I'm feeling currently right now, I'm feeling that this mural will have these type of elements. That's all. And again, it's for their peace of mind to ensure that we're that they're also informed. That's what it is. Bottom line. Yeah. More to come this summer. July is tomorrow. My God, July is tomorrow. That's crazy, folks. We're past halfway point, and that means, EEPMON Arc 3 begins tomorrow. Yeah, January, February, March, April, May, June. Oh my goodness, EEPMON Arc 2 is concluded in 9 minutes. And now EEPMON Arc 3 begins. And that means I need to update that graphic with Arc 3. But Arc 3 is going to be exciting, folks. Arc 3 will be the beginning of the EEPMON travels. It will also mark the beginnings of, the summer, more summer murals, more summer projects, some traveling. But yeah, get ready for it. It's going to be interesting. Oh, can't believe it. Time flies so quickly. Anywho, I'm a little bit tired, folks. I had a long day. I went out. I explored my city, actually. I went with a friend to Hindenburg. I don't really go there often. I don't really explore that area often. Though it was interesting. Like, I'm born and raised in Ottawa. Like, this is my home. This is my stomping ground. This is my home city. Lock it down, the city. But I never really ventured around Hindenburg other than typical, like, the main street, which is like Wellington. I walked around. It's pretty cool. Some very industrial place, and there are like these nice like bike paths and running paths are fantastic. Some of the homes are very cute. Like, they're like very nice, picket fence kind of stuff, but in the middle of the city. It's so interesting. Very, very cool. So I'm envisioning in my mind like what it was like back then when everything was more like countryside. But a lot of these houses, they maintain they're still around, and I think they look maintained well. Looks pretty nice. So yeah, even myself, I'm not traveling if I'm traveling, it's probably within like maybe Montreal or Toronto, but just a tourist in my own city. Learn something, learn something new about Ottawa and Hindenburg, and just walking around. I had a fantastic ice cream thanks to my friend. I went to the Mary Dairy I know, folks. It's my first time. I know it's so sad, but it is my first time going there, and it was delicious. I had the panda. What's it called? Is it called Trashy Panda? I might be butchering it, but the flavor, it's called something trashy panda. I don't know. Maybe I got it wrong. Do I have it wrong? I don't know. Something panda, and it had like a mint chocolate, 2 scoops, and it was pretty good, really good. Ah, so who knew that even my city would have some really, like I haven't explored the whole gamut of what Ottawa has to offer. But yeah, well, that's my day, folks. I want to keep this pretty short. I hope you have a good evening, a good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. This is the EEPMON Late Night Channel Eeps, episode 48. And it's going to be Canada Day in 6 minutes. So, I will speak to you tomorrow. I don't think I'll be going out. I'm just gonna bunker in, get some more R&R. Anywho, have a great night, have a great day, have a great afternoon. Bye bye.